Pay rent or get out. My mom said it while my brother's twins screamed and smeared peanut butter into the couch. I just come home from a 1-2 hour overnight at the emergency animal hospital. I didn't argue. I walked out. Weeks later, they were begging me to come back. I stood in the kitchen in stained scrubs, dead on my feet. My mom held juice boxes and watched me like I was staff. My older brother leaned on the fridge, smirking. Mom should have charged you sooner, he said, like I hadn't been their live-in nanny for years. I set my keys down. I grabbed the duffel bag I'd packed 2 months earlier. I zipped it shut right in front of them. My brother waved at the twins. Tell Uncle bye. He'll be back before dinner. I walked out anyway. The lock clicked. They thought I'd crawl back because the real world is expensive. The funny part is, I already knew what expensive meant. 2 months earlier, I logged into the college fund my grandfather left me. The balance was zero. My parents drained it to bail out my brother when his real estate life crashed. My mom called it a family emergency. My dad hid behind a newspaper. My brother promised he'd pay it back and never sent a dime. So I drove until my chest stopped buzzing. I paid for a cheap motel room, turned my phone off, and slept. Day 2, I signed a lease on a tiny one-bedroom above a florist. I ate takeout on the floor and realized guilt is just a leash, and mine was finally snapped. On day 4, I turned my phone back on. It buzzed non-stop with demands. Where are you? The boys are crying. Come home. Not one message asked if I was safe. My brother's texts were worse. You owe Mom, I laughed. My mom video called. The house behind her looked wrecked. My brother shoved into frame, red-faced. Look what you did, he snapped, panning the mess like it was evidence. I stared at the screen and said, no. Then I added, calm and flat. This is what the house looks like when I stop holding it together. After that, I made it real. I cut off the shared accounts. I removed my card from their apps. Then I took my name off the twins' emergency and pickup lists. If I was just a tenant, then I wasn't their free daycare. A week later, my brother called screaming from the school parking lot. He'd sent his teenage assistant to pick up the kids. The staff refused. Late fees hit. They warned him they'd call CPS next time. He yelled that I humiliated him and cost him a big deal. I said, you're not mad at me. You're mad you had to parent. He threatened lawyers. I hung up. 2 days after that, they came to my job. First, the clinic doors slid open. Then the heels started clicking across the tile. Next, my mom, my brother, and his wife marched into the waiting room. My brother slammed his hand on the counter. We need him right now. I stepped out slow and steady. You need to leave, I said. His wife leaned in. You abandoned your responsibilities, she hissed. My mom turned on the tears. We fed you. We loved you. And you just walk out? My brother smirked. You're nothing without us. Then I said it, clear as glass. You didn't love me. You used me. You stole my inheritance, then tried charging me rent while I raised your kids. My brother stepped closer, fists tight. Shut your mouth. The room held its breath. After that, the office door swung open. The hospital director walked out and didn't even blink. He stood beside me. He's my lead surgical technician, he said. You're causing a disturbance. Leave now, or I call the police. My brother's face drained. His wife's eyes snapped to him. They turned and walked out. After that, everything cracked. My brother and his wife started fighting non-stop. Then my youngest brother showed up at my place with a box of my stuff and one last twist. The rent ultimatum wasn't even my mom's original idea. It came from my aunt, who wanted to borrow $5,000 and pushed my mom to squeeze it out of me. I blocked my aunt everywhere that same night. A few weeks later, my brother asked to meet. He looked wrecked. She took the kids, he said. Then he slid a cashier's check across the table. The exact amount of my fund, plus interest. I sold my sports car, he muttered. I took it. My mom called after that and asked for 30 minutes. I went. The house looked normal now, not magically maintained. She cried, and for once it didn't feel like theater. I'm sorry, she said. I nodded. You did break me, I told her, but you also taught me that access isn't love. I left at minute 30. Now I sit in my own place, and my life is finally mine. They don't get my time by default anymore. They get what they earn. What would you have done in my place? Walk away or scorch the earth? Drop your take in the comments.